There's no way out of this canyon, and we have phasers locked on every one of you.
It appears you have a decisive advantage.
To fight a battle under these circumstances would serve no purpose. I'm prepared to offer terms. Hear me out. I know you need more tetracell white. My doctor can sedate your men and keep them alive until we're rescued. After that, we can put you in medical stasis until we secure a new supply.
The Vorta did not give me the option to surrender.
Keevan's betrayed you! He gave us your entire plan of attack last night.
It was obvious that approaching your position from this canyon was a deliberate tactical error on his part.
You knew?
I suspected. Despite what Keevan may think, the Jem'Hadar are often one step ahead of the Vorta.
You can still stay one step ahead. Surrender.
I have my orders.
Keevan doesn't deserve the unwavering loyalty you're giving him.
He does not have to earn my loyalty, Captain. He has had it from the moment I was conceived. I am a Jem'Hadar. He is a Vorta. It is the order of things.
Do you really want to give up your life for the order of things?
It is not my life to give up, Captain. And it never was.
What did he say?
All the wrong things?
There he is.
Damar's a creature of habit, all right. After a hard day at work, he deserves his glass of Kanar. Why are the Jem'Hadar always in here, he asks himself. They don't drink, they don't eat, they don't gamble, all they do is take up space. Damar asks his bartender if he found a pad he was working on the other day.
My brother tells the truth. He hasn't seen it.
Damar doesn't like that. The pad contained a draft copy of a secret memorandum he was working on concerning the shortage of white. In it, he speculates that without the drug, the Jem'Hadar will run amok, killing everyone and everything in their path. Damar recommends that if the Cardassians can't bring down the minefield and reopen the supply line from the Gamma Quadrant, they should poison the last ration of white, eliminating the Jem'Hadar before it's too late. How did you get a hold of Damar's pad anyway?
I'm good with my hands. Here we go. They've seen him.
The missing pad. Damar accuses them of stealing it.
They say they found it outside their quarters, right where I left it.
I knew this was gonna work. The Cardassians and the Jem'Hadar can pretend to be allies, but they hate each other.
Get out of my way!
Hello everybody and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Jen T. Maxey in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder if this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities. So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside. There's no way out of this canyon, and we have phasers locked on every one of you.
It appears you have a decisive advantage.
To fight a battle under these circumstances would serve no purpose. I'm prepared to offer terms. Hear me out. I know you need more Tetracell White. My doctor can sedate your men and keep them alive until we're rescued. After that, we can put you in medical stasis until we secure a new supply.
The Vorta did not give me the option to surrender.
Keeban's betrayed you. He gave us your entire plan of attack last night.
It was obvious that approaching your position from this canyon was a deliberate tactical error on his part.
You knew?
I suspected. Despite what Keeban may think, The Jem'Hadar are often one step ahead of the Vorta.
You can still stay one step ahead. Surrender.
I have my orders.
Keevan doesn't deserve the unwavering loyalty you're giving him.
He does not have to earn my loyalty, Captain. He has had it from the moment I was conceived. I am a Jem'Hadar. He is a Vorta. It is the order of things.
Do you really want to give up your life for the order of things?
It is not my life to give up, Captain. And it never was.
What did he say?
All the wrong things?
There he is.
Damar's a creature of habit, all right. After a hard day at work, he deserves his glass of Kanar. Why are the Jem'Hadar always in here, he asks himself. They don't drink, they don't eat, they don't gamble, all they do is take up space. Damar asks his bartender if he found a pad he was working on the other day.
My brother tells the truth. He hasn't seen it.
Damar doesn't like that. The pad contained a draft copy of a secret memorandum he was working on concerning the shortage of white. In it, he speculates that without the drug, the Jem'Hadar will run amok, killing everyone and everything in their path. Damar recommends that if the Cardassians can't bring down the minefield and reopen the supply line from the Gamma Quadrant, they should poison the last ration of white, eliminating the Jem'Hadar before it's too late. How did you get a hold of Damar's pad anyway?
I'm good with my hands. Here we go. They've seen him.
The missing pad. Damar accuses them of stealing it.
They say they found it outside their quarters, right where I left it.
I knew this was gonna work. The Cardassians and the Jem'Hadar can pretend to be allies, but they hate each other.
Get out of my way!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxey in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder if this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office.
there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities.
So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
There's no way out of this canyon, and we have phasers locked on every one of you.
It appears you have a decisive advantage.
To fight a battle under these circumstances would serve no purpose. I'm prepared to offer terms. Hear me out. I know you need more Tetracell White. My doctor can sedate your men and keep them alive until we're rescued. After that, we can put you in medical stasis until we secure a new supply.
The Vorta did not give me the option to surrender.
Keevan's betrayed you. He gave us your entire plan of attack last night.
It was obvious that approaching your position from this canyon was a deliberate tactical error on his part.
You knew?
I suspected. Despite what Keevan may think, the Jem'Hadar are often one step ahead of the Vorta.
You can still stay one step ahead. Surrender.
I have my orders.
Keevan doesn't deserve the unwavering loyalty you're giving him.
He does not have to earn my loyalty, Captain. He has had it from the moment I was conceived. I am a Jem'Hadar. He is a Vorta. It is the order of things.
Do you really want to give up your life for the order of things?
It is not my life to give up, Captain. And it never was.
What did he say?
all the wrong things?
There he is.
Damar's a creature of habit, all right. After a hard day at work, he deserves his glass of Kanar. Why are the THUR always in here, he asks himself. They don't drink, they don't eat, they don't gamble, all they do is take up space. Damar asks his bartender if he found a pad he was working on the other day.
My brother tells the truth. He hasn't seen it.
Damar doesn't like that. The pad contained a draft copy of a secret memorandum he was working on concerning the shortage of white. In it, he speculates that without the drug, the THUR will run amok, killing everyone and everything in their path. Damar recommends that if the Cardassians can't bring down the minefield and reopen the supply line from the Gamma Quadrant, they should poison the last ration of white, eliminating the THUR before it's too late. How did you get a hold of Damar's pad anyway?
I'm good with my hands. Here we go. They've seen him.
The missing pad. Damar accuses them of stealing it.
They say they found it outside their quarters, right where I left it.
I knew this was gonna work. The Cardassians and the THUR can pretend to be allies, but they hate each other.
Get out of my way!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxey in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder, this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities.
So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
Minions of the Zoo. In space.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Minions of the Zoo in space. I'm Keeper for Night, Tyr Alexander, and I'm here with my friends
I
Mitch
recognize
Nemo.
one of those skeletons. We get the same kind of skeleton in the local museum.
Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. That's another little
Yeah.
experiment I did. What the hell was it?
I'm doing the intro.
Oh.
Let me rephrase that. I'm here with my friends.
I was
Mitch Nemo.
the tree stump I'm trying to burn down.
I'm here.
I had hoped to build a chimney around it out of either mud or clay, but there's just in this part of Michigan, there's just no fucking.
Right, that seems to be the problem. Okay, let's try this again.
My poor house will not let me dig that deep.
I took a bunch of pictures of the Science Museum. They have a wall that.
My hello. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having technical issues. Let's see. All right. Okay. That should be it. Hello? Can y'all hear me? Okay. Sorry. I was having technical issues, and I was trying to tell y'all I'm starting the show, and I'm here with my friends Mitch Nemo.
Hey.
Dr. Functional.
Technical excellence, what Minions is known for.
The Critical Drinker. Thinker. God damn it, I keep calling you Critical Drinker.
It's time to get busy and drink alcohol today.
And Willis Forge.
Remember, teamwork is important. It helps put the blame on someone else.
And as it is Monday, I'm your Keeper for Night, Tyr Alexander. We're gonna play some fucking Star Trek Online, talk some shit. So did you guys hear about the diagnosis of Joseph R. Biden?
Oh yeah, whatever.
That sounds really fake as hell.
Look, we all knew the man was a walking pile of illness and death.
Yeah, I'm
not gonna pretend to act surprised, and to be honest, I'm not gonna take the moral high road either. I shed no tears, as I wrote elsewhere. I shed no tears for the suffering or death of tyrants. Fuck them.
Exactly.
No.
Fair enough.
I think he said something was like he was on a talk show. It was really fucked up, and one of the things that he said was, "Oh, I'll just make up something that I have."
It was ages ago when he said that if it ever comes a point where him and Obama have a disagreement that they can't, overcome, I'll resign. I'll make up a illness and resign.
Oh, right.
But that was when he was in his right mind. So,
was he ever in his right mind?
What was that? 1963?
No, that was
Dickety 2.
63.
No, that was recent. Like, he was in his right mind up until a certain point.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was right at the end of the Civil War.
But yeah.
Hey, Tyr, you knew Biden when he was young, right?
No, I wasn't in that side of the world yet. I was in the old world, causing trouble.
Yes, he knew Biden. Biden was his master.
Oh, fuck.
Ouch. Whoa. Now I know why I can't stand Biden. He used to whip me. What's your name? Tyr. Your name is Whoever it was, I can't remember.
Toby?
Toby.
Wasn't it Jakunta Kente's owner wanted to call him Toby?
Yeah. Master gave him a new name and it was Toby, yeah.
His name is Django.
Kunta.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
They call me Mr. Tibbs. But in all seriousness, again, I understand not shedding a tear, and I won't shed one, but I still wouldn't wish cancer on somebody, even a tyrant.
Oh no, there's a world of difference between wishing cancer on someone and not shedding a tear over an asshole who catches it.
Well, yes.
I wish I could have got a video of the exploding liquid nitrogen today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we did the Museum of Science today in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And they have a show they have live shows sometimes. And they had one for weather. I wanted to take her to show her how tornadoes and shit worked here.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have those in California.
Oh.
And I got to show her how the weathers and how the tornado works, and they did the.
Yeah, you did.
Boom, chicka brown cow.
And she did this thing where at the end of it was a giant explosion using liquid nitrogen.
Yo, Duck Dog. Yo, Costin. Yo, Ray.
Hello,
yo, Jen.
Hey, Jen. I can't see everyone's name, so I can't call everyone out specifically.
Having technical issues, being shot by Omar. I didn't get shot by Omar. Man. Yeah, did you... we were talking last night about, the fucking, series with, Ironheart.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Why must you remind us these things exist?
Apparently, it's being sent out to die. No one asked for it. Yes, because no one asked for her. It is a symptom that woke Marvel is dying. Like,
woke Marvel's already dead.
Yeah, it's been on life support for quite a while.
It's just that
it has Disney money.
The morons in charge keep producing shit that's not going to do anything.
Look, all right. So I don't mind female superheroes. I don't mind that. I like the original Captain Miss Marvel, not Kamala Khan. I'm talking about Carol Danvers when she was Miss Marvel, and she didn't try to be a man.
A dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now every fucking female superhero is trying to be an unlikable bitch.
And I didn't like the they made so they got a bunch of black superheroes together. It was Storm, Luke Cage, Storm, Luke Cage, Black Panther. They all did like a black series or something. Like it only lasts like maybe 5 issues. It was a limited run.
Yeah.
Because everyone knew it wouldn't last.
Shit like that is unnecessary.
No, it isn't.
I mean, what do they call that? Honestly, and I base this on the on a lot of the videos that we see on YouTubes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But what do they call that team? The Waffle House 5?
Oh, damn.
The Darkies.
Oh, goddamn, dear.
What? What did I say?
I think it would have been the Popeyes men because Waffle House is much more likely to have a mixed clientele.
The 1350s.
Iron fart. But it's the problem. The problem with stuff like that is it. I don't need a color to represent me. Like again, my favorite superhero is Spider-Man, and not because he's white or black or anything like that. Because the way he portrayed like the everyman who wants to do good but struggles.
He's relatable.
Yes, he's highly relatable.
On a personal level, not the hey, everybody's got to see their abilities in a superhero. It's like, hey, he's human. He tries his best. He has failings. He's not, everything is right all the time.
Yeah, he's not special. Yeah, and he openly admits like, hey, I'm terrified. Like, but I have to go against these villains because if I don't, no one will. I have the power to protect people, and I have to use that power responsibly.
And one of the best parts is, and if they knew how to write Superman, they do this with him too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. Spider-Man's not just terrified of fighting the bad guys; he's terrified of what he might do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's constantly pulling his punches because he's strong.
Yeah, like he could lift a fucking tank. Like the upper limits of his strength is equivalent to what a spider could do.
It's if he just let loose and punched Flash for all he was worth, Flash would lose his head.
He would liquefy him.
Yeah, even if he did that with Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus would lose his head.
Yeah, you would pulverize the head and have severe shockwave trauma right down the spine, the rest of the body. I mean, he'd be dead. Yeah. One hit.
And he'd have to clean his fucking costume.
Shit.
This is vaporized. We've aerosolized the brain of Doc Ock.
Yeah,
exactly. The reason why that resonates with people is because it directly reflects the human condition.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially a male. We have to hold back. We have to hold back.
Excuse me. And that's something that I don't like. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can't ever understand about women, which is fine and great and makes them great. Mm-hmm. But there's things that they won't understand about us. And so when you get the female writers in to take over these comic books, it is partially a sex thing. It is partially because they can't get into Peter's head.
Yeah.
They can't get into Superman's head or whoever else's head. They have to know what they know. Sure, they can fake it, but then the reader feels it's artificial.
Right.
And some of the best authors throughout history, your Shakespeare's, whatever, they were really good at writing the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's an interesting thing because just with what we've talked about in the last 5 minutes, men would be better at writing women who get superpowers, especially super strength, because men already know what it's like to have to hold back.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So when you're writing a female character who suddenly gets, say Captain Marvel or Superman or Spider-Man or Hulk level strength, it's a great vector into the psychology that has just been created by the advent of that power on a female character, because female characters wouldn't be as familiar with the need to hold back in that same way.
They have to learn that, and that's another thing.
And that's a great vector into studying the human condition.
And that's another thing I dislike about most of my writers, especially when they write females who instantly know everything. Remember in the She-Hulk, she was showing up Hulk. Like,
oh yeah,
like I've been the Hulk for X number of years before you. There's no fucking way you understand the condition you're in better than I do because you're female. It's just not. And there's no fucking way She-Hulk has an upper limit. She literally does. Hulk does not. Hulk's anger directly proportional his strength. He could fucking destroy the planet. He deadlifted Thor's hammer. Deadlifted that motherfucker. He didn't wield it, but he threw it. And that's impossible for anybody other than him.
Yeah.
Like,
don't get me started on the enchantment on Thor's hammer. I will argue it to my dying day.
No, it's not the enchantment. It's just that it's the way the hammer works. It's supposed to not work for anybody. Like no one can lift it unless he be worthy. And Hulk wasn't worthy. He just fucking forced it up. the limit of the strength of the hammers, the magic on the hammer, could not defeat the limit on Hulk's strength. And
right.
Well, that's because Hulk's strength has no limit.
Yes, and that's another thing Loki experienced when he separated Hulk from Banner. When Hulk was pure rage and had no element to calm him down, Loki realized, holy shit, I can't control this beast. Like
Loki said, oops.
Yeah, it was literally, oh shit, I fucked up.
It's at that moment he knew.
He fucked up. And to have She-Hulk come out of nowhere and show him up is the insult to the character.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again,
it's just not good writing.
It's because the writers are unfamiliar with how to write a human story. If you look at all of the shit that's been written badly in the last 10, 20 years, it all comes down to the inability of the writers to tell a very human story.
Mm-hmm. Or even pick a subject like, all right, so they wanted to do a legal drama without having somebody that understood how legal dramas are written. Instead of doing a story that they knew, and they tried to shoehorn a legal drama from writers that don't know what the fuck they're doing. With She-Hulk,
you know what they should have done?
What?
They should have spent another $10,000 and tried to get David Kelly to consult.
Yeah.
David Kelly has been writing legal dramas since fucking LA Law.
What
in the fucking 80s or 90s.
No, this is what they should have done for that. What they should have done was have her, the entire experience is her coming to terms with the fact that she can't be normal.
Yes.
Okay, but I had a better idea.
But hey, she twerked, so it's okay.
For the legal drama part, they could have spent a fifth of that and just have their entire writing team binge watch the first couple of seasons of the original Law and Order, where it was very legally technical and precise.
I would say do a show like The Practice.
Well, then Better Call Saul, but with superheroes.
Or have that, the backdrop, you don't really see her court cases, but you hear about them.
Or you know what else? Do a quick consult with some of those internet lawyers.
Yeah, that works too.
Heck, just spend a $20 super chat on them and like, what's your top 5 best picks for legal dramas or legal drama episodes?
Or hey, watch a bunch of court cases with an actual fucking lawyer.
From the legal technical perspective. Yes. Not from the drama perspective, from the hey, this is good legal technical procedure and everything.
Or be real smart and watch My Cousin Vinny.
Everybody says that one is.
What is a ute?
Two utes. But again, it is their lack of ability.
The brilliance of My Cousin Vinny as a reference is that not only is it a pretty good representation of what it's like to be in a courtroom, it's entertaining.
Yes.
They also needed people to teach them how to entertain, as well as how to understand writing legal drama.
Entertainment? What does that mean? I don't know.
We haven't been entertained in years. Oh shit! No. And again, they should have had the traditional reason why she becomes She-Hulk. It should have been Bruce giving her a blood transfusion because she's dying.
Yep.
Hey, Duck Dog, the theory that I have heard on the enchantment on Thor's hammer, which I actually like and makes sense, especially if you look at Avengers, where Hulk tries to pick it up when he's not at full rage, and instead of getting like pressed into the deck and everything, is that it's able to manipulate its own local gravity kind of thing.
That's
make
what it is.
It can make itself heavier.
Yeah, that's the magic on it. No, the magic on it does that for it. That's the only way it can, and the whole he be worthy thing is reflective of how you view yourself. It's not necessarily worthiness in the sense like if you believe you're morally right and you don't have any flaws, like Captain America believes, like yo, I'm doing everything I can for my code. He can lift the hammer, no problem. Vision can lift the hammer too, and it's because he doesn't have a code to violate. Spider-Man, when he fucking comes to terms with what he's doing, he can lift the hammer. But when he's in self-doubt mode, he can't do it.
It makes no sense. The enchantment does not say no one can lift the hammer unless they're worthy. The enchantment says,
wield.
Whoever holds this hammer. That's
shall
the
be
first
worthy
line
of the
That's the first line of the enchantment. Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. It doesn't say only if you're worthy you can pick it up. I will die on this fucking hill. They're misrepresenting the way the enchantment works.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone should be able to pick it up, but not anyone can wield the power of Thor.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, so they can't throw it.
Yeah. Well, they could throw it. It just wouldn't do any damn good. It'd be like, ow, what, you dick?
It'd be like throwing a regular hammer very softly.
Yeah. Well, not a regular hammer. It's probably still pretty damn heavy.
But you're not smacking people with it. You're not wielding the power of thunder and lightning.
Around. You're not twirling it fast enough to fly. You're not saying, verily I say thee, nay, base villain.
That's one of the things I've always hated.
What is Guardian speaking Old English?
Yes. They're supposed to be Norse, so they should speak as Vikings do.
Like Thor did in the first one?
Huh?
Like Thor kind of did in the beginning?
Yeah.
Another.
You know, they should behave as the classic Norse gods do. Like, they should all be fighting and fucking.
And drinking.
And drinking, my bad. Fighting, fucking, and drinking.
There ain't Norse god ain't no Norse god that never drank.
Nope.
Yeah, you'll never catch a Norse god at an AA meeting.
You would, but they would be there
the temp people
trying to get people to give it up.
Yeah, and I hated. All right, Idris Elba is a good, decent actor. He should have never been cast as Heimdall.
No.
I
agree.
And it's nothing against him as an actor. It is a constant, race swapping. Yeah, it's a miscast. It's a race swapping of a character that didn't need to be race swapped.
Race swapping is the worst thing you can do because you stop seeing the character and all you see is the actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and going back a little bit, W.R. Costin, yeah, Luke Cage is black. At least every presentation of him I've seen is that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
In the 70s, he had the tiara that he would throw at people. Yeah, he did. In the 70s, if you look at his run in the 70s, he had a silver tiara.
Was it silver?
Yeah, it was silver. Because it matched his bangles.
Right.
He would throw it at you. He would just throw it at you. Like, it was dumb as hell, but hey, it worked in the 70s.
Yeah, I guess so.
70s were something else.
Especially then, comic books were, and I think this is part of the charm of the older comic books, they were more about spectacle.
Yeah.
In addition, in Marvel's case, in addition to good storytelling. For the most part. I mean, you still get shit like the Clone Saga.
I mean, you still had even with some of the older storylines, like the Secret War, where you get the Beyonders just trying to figure out like who would be better. You get good shit. You and you get some of the better villains too.
Honestly, I think they should reboot the Marvel Universe. The first phase should be something pretty serious, featuring Avengers, X-Men, Spider-Man. And, basically the teams and the standalone characters.
Mm-hmm.
You should get about 7 to 10 movies in that first phase before the big team up where everyone fights. Maybe
no one
like
quits.
a Galactus level threat or whatever, a world-ending threat.
Yeah, it should be a world-ending threat.
But then the next phase should be based on the Acts of Vengeance limited series that they did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone remembers that one. No one ever talks about it. But that was where Loki disguised himself and started working to convince all the supervillains to take on people who are not their arch enemies. So you get like who's a good you get like Dr. Octopus going after Wolverine, for example.
Because you can't counter the power set.
Because Spider-Man's fought Doc Ock enough; he knows how to defeat Doc Ock. The idea here was Loki was working on a big old, trying to connive a big old thing where the Avengers get taken out because they're now facing enemies that they're not familiar with. And it's actually kind of a good plot.
Okay.
But no one talked about that one anymore. It was a great little limited series. I think it was a 12-issue limited series.
What they need to stop doing is killing off their villains.
Yes.
Like killing off you take out, you kill Doc Ock in Spider-Man 1. Now he can't come back, and you can't have shit like the Sinister Six.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the one of the prime players in the Sinister Six is fucking dead. Because you killed them all.
Yeah, you can't. It's Ultron all over again.
Yeah.
Because they didn't include Hank Pym in Marvel Phase 1, we don't get a proper Ultron.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't get Hank Pym telling him, giving him evil to save the world, because they need a massive army. And that's when they should have introduced. They should have had Kang before they had Ultron. Like Kang should have been first. Yeah. Because that's when they needed that massive army to fight. Kang's coming from the future. We need an army. Well, I got somebody on the raft. It'll give us an army, but it's going to turn them evil. Do it. We need an army. Okay. Good luck.
and they should do they should do like the Acts of Vengeance thing before they do Secret Wars, before they do what was the other one?
I want a proper Civil War.
House of M or Infinity Wars. They should do these things in a proper order where they actually escalate.
And where you can see the through lines.
Yes.
Like honestly, world-ending evil should be taken out as a team up, like when they do the team up movies, and never as a standalone. Oh, it's just the X-Men, so we're gonna throw like.
Yeah, because if we establish that the Avengers and the X-Men exist in the same universe, and Magneto's attacking Earth from asteroid M, why are the Avengers not involved?
Yeah, like why is he not? They're not helping with this threat.
Why is the Fantastic Four on vacation that weekend and can't be bothered? Fuck you.
Yeah, that makes no fucking sense.
Rights, movie rights.
Well, even with movie rights,
because they don't understand. They don't understand escalation. Like you can have the Fantastic Four fight Doctor Doom, and and defeat him and drive him back into Latveria, where he's, probably just going to sit there and plot his next thing. But Doctor Doom was never out to destroy the world.
No.
So when a threat like Ultron emerges,
he'd hop
Dr.
in.
Doom, he would hop in and he wouldn't. Doctor Doom would think it's beneath him to fight Ultron, but he wouldn't think it's beneath him to say, "Hey, Avengers, hey, Fantastic Four, hey, X-Men, go punch this fucking robot."
I'm pretty sure if it was world-ending evil like, say, Galactus, he'd hop in because he lives on the planet.
It would have to be extreme.
Yeah, it like I say, it can't be something that
a regular class world-ending event that's beneath him, but if it's extreme, he'd get involved.
Bring to the max.
On the side of the people trying to prevent the world from blowing up.
Excuse me.
Have you ever seen the final set of episodes in the Justice League Unlimited series where even the villains joined up to fight Darkseid?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we live here too.
We watch you guys fall. Planet falls too. So team up.
Yep.
And again, like you said, escalation. You should build towards something. Street level. Start first movie. Street level crimes. Street level villains.
Yeah.
Second movie.
That's why the first Superman movie needs to be not about. We don't doubt that Superman could beat Livewire. We know he can.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how does Superman beat Livewire without going overboard, losing self-control, and turning Livewire into electric paste?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, and this is why it makes it even more difficult for Superman, because electricity can hurt him. It may not be able to kill him, but it can hurt him.
And you could, what would make a great if they did Livewire? She was one of his most ardent critics. She hated him when she was human. She was a shock jock that fucking couldn't stand him. And it would and it would play out like you could have him showing on the scene and him doing the street level crimes, stopping the mugger here, and have her be his J. Jonah Jameson essentially. And then she gets. I think she got. They were at an event and it was a really bad electrical storm, and she got like fried as he tried to save her. So yeah, you can have that.
Yeah, it's a testament to how badly they understand Superman that they don't write movies like that.
Did you say Superman?
Yeah, Superman.
I've been known to, yeah.
Bill Batman. Bill Batman.
Just like his Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Spiderman.
Not to be mistaken for Spoderman.
Bill Batman.
Spooderman.
Spooderman.
Man Bat.
It's just infuriating that no one knows. In Hollywood, no one knows how to do that. Oh God, it's totally off subject, but it's still revolving around entertainment. I just finished watching the series Bates Motel.
Okay.
I couldn't get through it.
What's that?
I couldn't get through it. Got bored.
Well, I have issues. Okay.
We know that.
It's the first.
So do I. Well, it was the issues. I got too bored. I couldn't get through it.
You're rotten.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about issues in general. I was going to say that's a given.
Yeah, right?
Well, that too.
First thing I want to say about Bates Motel as a series, I thought the casting was pretty damn good for the most part. Freddie Highmore.
I'll agree there.
Was a great choice for Norman Bates, and Vera Farmiga, whatever the fuck her name is, was a good choice for Norma Bates. I take exception, however, to for some reason in this show they seem to think that yelling equals acting.
Oh, I hate that shit. Pisses me off.
There's there's an indignity about that kind of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of what I mean when I talk about some of those shows in the 70s and the movies in the 70s. Columbo's a great example.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quieter show.
Just one more thing.
And even when there are characters who get all ramped up and shouty, it's quieter because there's a greater sense of dignity for all the characters in those shows back then. That seems to be missing now.
Hold on, sorry to interrupt. Jen says, so I've been watching these clips today. Fortnite Raider AI will probably find those funny tier. Probably will. K Show, hey K Show. And Green Badger says, I never liked Superman. Way too OP. It's not that he's too OP. Like, they don't know how to make him. Again,
they don't know how to attack the OP issue and make it interesting.
You attack him mentally. Like you put him in situations where his morality is tested. That's how you fight Superman.
We've done that one ad nauseum. Let's let Mitch finish his thought that he had.
Yes, go ahead, Mitch. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, this is a long thought too, because I'm basically critiquing the entire Bates Motel series. I thought the casting was great. The first time I really watched Vera What's Her Face, and thought she was. How do I explain this? Right now, she's overvalued. I don't know what it was like when she was cast in the show with her, because I hear people throw her name around all the time, and I'm just not that impressed with her.
Okay.
But she does a lot of stuff I don't care about either. Like, what are those movies where she plays the ghost hunter lady? Not Paranormal. Maybe it is. No, it's not Paranormal Activity. Yeah, it's the one where the lady and her husband. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a series of films. And
I know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's supernatural.
It's the one that spawned Annabelle.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
supernatural horror, and supernatural horror just doesn't scare me.
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to get disconnected from the game again. But that stuff never interested me, so I never took interest in her as an actress. And after watching the Bates Motel, I think I'm right. But here's the stuff that bothers me about the Bates Motel, the series. They relocated it to Oregon probably so they could do their marijuana economy storyline, because Hollywood was pushing for marijuana legalization, and this is one of the avenues through which they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a small town. Its economy is based almost entirely on marijuana. But how long can that really last?
Not long.
But I mean, before it gets silly, and the DEA shows up, which they do. But it gets silly because not only is this place a mecca for growing and selling and blah 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 marijuana, it's also a major gun running hub, a major sex trafficking hub. It's like, okay, shut up.
This little town is all that.
400 fucking people, and everyone's involved in all these illicit. Fuck you.
So the town, it's just a town run by mobsters and gangsters.
Yeah, small town, 400 something population, I think. I don't remember exactly, but let's say no more than 10,000. It's a small community. There's no way that all of these things are going on in this one place unless St. John. Now, that bothers me. I think they did do pretty good with the Norman Bates storyline and the Norma Bates stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Story-wise, that was interesting. But it lost me when they finally get to they did do the part that takes place in the original movie Psycho. They got to that storyline.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing that throws this off for me is this is This is the Psycho story told in modern time. So you know it's based on Psycho, but it's not Psycho. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you know it's fine. It's perfectly fine. But then we get to the the Psycho storyline where with Marion Chambers and Sam Loomis. And all the people from the fucking movie. And they race swapped Marion to a black woman.
Oh, of course they did.
But no, they did it worse than that. They told the story in a way that Sam Loomis, her Marion's boyfriend, was the one in the shower that Norman kills. Norman kills him, not dressed as his mother, but dressed as Norman.
Why?
Norman actually helped Marion to escape. Oh, the only reason they did it this way is so it can be different from the movie. And that's exactly how it feels. See how different from the movie we are?
But what
from the movie?
But what
we're
is the
telling
whole
same story and relying on it, but we're different from the movie.
But see, that's the problem. You're telling the story from the movie, and you're using the movie as backdrop. Then what the fuck is the point of you using the movie? Why not just have a modern day movie about your drug running town hippies and throw in a crazy psychopath in the hotel?
Yeah, a Norman Bates-esque character.
Yes.
Yeah, that can work.
But I will.
You can even call them Borman Nates.
Yeah, no kidding. I will say this about it though. I think they could have done better, but it wasn't. The Norman and Norma Bates stuff wasn't tragically bad. A lot of it was actually quite good.
Okay.
It's all the stuff surrounding them that's just 7 layers. Shut up. Seriously,
I'm so tired.
There's just so much you just want to go. Oh, shut up.
Preach. All
right, I'm done. Go on.
No. I was gonna do y'all remember the short-lived Endless TV show?
What was it called?
No.
I believe it's called The Endless, or it was either called. They tried to do a short-lived Endless. Hold on, let me make sure I'm right. And they race swapped Death and made her from a hot, pale goth girl to a black goth girl.
Oh, give me a fucking break.
Ian?
I am so unbelievably fucking tired of that shit.
Endless.
I was going to say, I'm Mitch Mitchimus Nemo-son. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
Why is it that Hollywood hates redheads? Every fucking movie they've had that a red-haired character has been replaced with a black character, and it makes no.
They're all dyslexic.
I
because
know.
Black people are people of color now. Didn't you hear?
Yeah,
Did you not get the memo?
Apparently, yeah.
People of color.
Gingers are actually. I'm not gonna say it on YouTube.
They're actually blacks. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Ginger is an anagram.
Let's just say it uses all the same letters.
Yeah. Bravo.
That's what I said. They're dyslexic.
Bravo. I cannot.
Well, it's like they said, orange is the new black.
Oh.
What do I win for that one?
Damn.
All right.
All expense paid trip to Gulag.
It was called The Sandman.
Yeah,
it was on Netflix, and they. All right, so they keep pretty much everybody the same.
Wasn't that actually based off a comic?
Yeah, it's called The Sandman by Neil Gaiman.
Gaiman.
All right.
Whose death was actually supposed to be different than they originally placed her, anyways.
No, Death is supposed to be a hot goth girl who she's more friendly.
I'm thinking of the actual Sandman.
Yeah, but the way Death works, in the Sandman universe. Death is more it is a constant companion, and she wants to usher you in kindly. She isn't malicious or mean. She just does her job. You know, it's not like I want to kill people, but it has to be done. That's kind of her thing. But they kept basically everybody almost the same. You know, uh, Morpheus, the titular Sandman, played by white guy. You have
I'll still say for like 90% of that stuff that's based off a comic book and whatnot, it shouldn't be live action.
It should be.
Die on that hill.
It shouldn't be.
I agree with that. There's I think some of it is translatable to live action, and that should be done. To be honest,
I think the Sandman.
There are elements of it where.
Hold on.
At what point does live action not live action anymore because of all the CGI?
Exactly.
Well, you don't really have to CGI the Sandman because there aren't fantastical fights. There aren't any, really overpowered elements in it. Like the main characters, the Endless, are all basically humans, except for you may have to CGI a little with Delirium and Despair, because Despair is supposed to be this overweight, pale, gigantic sludge monster. Like, she's just this fat bitch. And Delirium, yeah, and Delirium is just the world warps around her because she's fucking nucking futz.
Yeah,
not fucking nuts, nucking futz.
Nucking the futz.
Yeah. All right. Where is the character name? Kirby Howell Batiste played Death. All the other characters, except for are correct races. Even the only other black person probably the new character. Everyone else, all the Endless, are who they're supposed to be. It is insane, and they didn't have. That's what they had. Delirium of the Light in here, but she's the only one that's not supposed to be who they are. I think they race swap, gender swap Lucifer too. Lucifer's supposed to be a dude.
Yeah.
Like it's insulting.
Wait, Scott Adams got cancer? Fuck.
No, Scott Adams had cancer, really?
I thought I just heard that.
From where?
I was listening to radio. Dilbert cartoon creator says he has the same prostate cancer as Joe Biden.
Oh shit!
Shit, that's a shame because he's not a piece of shit.
He isn't.
We might not agree with everything, that's the human condition. It's fine, but man, that sucks. He's been a good voice lately.
Who has?
Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert.
Scott Adams.
Ah.
Yeah.
Doug TenNapel just got a benign tumor removed from his face. And his face is
one of those.
I'm old enough to remember when that was called a divorce.
No, literally a benign, like he had a scar and everything. It was just a benign growth.
Yeah, I had one that was under the orbital bone of my right eye, so I've got a little scar under my eye. It looks like a teardrop.
Ah, nice.
Cry, baby, cry.
See, removal of a growth. Now we're talking about parenthood.
Really, really, really late term abortion.
But it's you have shit like that, and it's an insult to fans. It's an insult to creators, and honestly, whatchamacallit is fucking woke. Neil Gaiman, he's fucking gone insane. He's
Neil, man.
Yeah, he's drunk the Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
You know,
So
that's why if I were ever to sell one of my ideas, I wouldn't sell it if without the provision that no one can be race swapped, no one can be gender swapped, and that kind of stuff.
or you get final say on all casting choices.
Yes, I would. It has to be true to the original intent. And let's be being honest. I do write in characters who are not white and who are not male. As many here who have worked with me to sort some things out in one of the stories I was working on understand. I like to experiment with these things where I'll have, for example, I wrote someone whose parents were Mexican immigrants, but this character clearly he's first generation American, immigrated from Mexico, but he doesn't think of himself as a Mexican. He thinks of himself as an American.
Well, Mitch, you can only write. It's only either male or female. You know, you can't.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Well,
my point is that I like to take the diversity thing and turn it a little bit on its ear so that it works better and makes sense. Because they do it just for the sake of skin color. I'm going to put a whole fucking personality behind that.
Yeah, you know,
color on TV, I'm represented.
It's the superficial elements that they consider diversity instead of the actual substance information. Like, what is
right, because in Hollywood,
it's all superficial.
They don't deal in diversity. They deal in
formative.
What was it? Stereotypes masquerading as diversity.
Yeah. No, they deal in performative play. Oh well,
that's why it's a stereotype.
Oh well, we hired 7 transnucleic space monsters. Yeah, well, we hired 7 transnucleic space monsters from Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, they treat they're basically treating people as accessories.
Yes. Look, they're fucking kids.
Look at American Psycho and how Patrick Bateman and the people he worked with how they were about their business cards.
Mm-hmm.
With the raised embossed lettering and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
that's my kid's trans. Ooh.
The caramel corn coloring.
Yeah, well, mine's trans, gay, and black. Ooh.
Yeah. Mine's adopted. Yeah, well,
it was done in a good parody way.
I got pounded by 53 brown people to get my kid.
Ooh.
Oh.
You know,
clip it.
It's just.
Yes, clip it. Will, clip it.
I'm in the middle of a game. I don't exactly have a timestamp, and I can't make notes while I'm flying around.
But you know what I'm saying? They treat people like accessories, and it's insulting.
They do.
Whereas
somebody give me a timestamp for that one.
I try to come up with characters and make them interesting in some way, and I think the best way to make them interesting is to
make them characters.
Start with what might be a stereotype, and then twist it a bit.
Stereotype.
What's that?
You know, you don't even have to do that, Mitch. Just give them a personality. Give them something. Give hopes and fears and love and dreams. Yeah. Don't.
Basically.
You know, don't make him. Oh, he likes tacos. Well, why? Because he's Mexican? No. His grandmother used to make him tacos all the time when he was feeling sad, and he thinks that is a comfort food.
He likes tacos because tacos are delicious, and everybody should like tacos.
No, I'm just saying that the reason why for him he has that love of tacos isn't because he's Mexican. It's just that something his grandmother made for him when he was feeling sad. So whenever he's feeling sad, he wants a taco.
Exactly.
You could have it that Taco Tuesday was always done by his family. That was the only time really his whole family could get together. So tacos mean more to him because of Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, it's something.
Even
I
add a
think
little
you just
extra
like saying
into
Taco Tuesday.
No,
yeah,
just,
that is a true.
But you think you have the stereotype because he's Mexican, that's why he loves tacos. No, it's not because he's Mexican. It's because it meant something to him when he had a taco. Because again, it's when his family gathered around the table and they would all sit and enjoy themselves, and he could have fond memories of those days.
And he got taco flavored kisses.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yes.
I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Terrible.
Welcome to my world.
Terrible.
I had it in my head and I was gonna say it, and then everybody was talking, and I was like, "Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say now."
Welcome to old age.
Yeah.
Dum.
Also, I need to get up here.
Even middle age.
I have to wake up early in the morning.
Who's that?
I said I have to wake up early in the morning.
Okay.
So he's gonna jump off soon, probably.
Alright.
Just gonna do one last full day with my girlfriend while she's here, and then Wednesday she gets to go back.
Banish her.
Those are some taco kisses.
There you go. Taco Tuesday.
Out your ass.
I know that sounds kind of dirty, actually. Taco kisses.
Well, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's already expected,
It's not like he said, go out and kiss her taco.
We're terrible human beings, aren't we?
No comment.
Yeah.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
It's one thing to say that sounds kind of dirty. It's quite another to actually say the dirty thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I will neither.
Like I said, kids.
Can't live with them, can't shoot them.
You can shoot them, just gotta get close. Fuck.
It's a good movie.
But yes, it is performative for Hollywood, and they don't understand the basics of making somebody diverse. It just
that's kind of the nature of the business, though, right? Like these people, you have to be a certain type of person to be in that industry. For the most part, on average, right?
Yeah.
Well, the narcissist, the performer, the con man, like you have to be able to sell these roles, or else you're not really going to get much, unless you're sucking dick to get ahead. Then whatever. But I didn't mean to derail you. I just wanted to add that because it is kind of important to keep in mind that it's not just blue collar workers who fall into acting. These are very specific types of people in how they think and how they act and how they view the universe and other people.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very rare for the blue collar to fall into that.
Some do, and they do great, like Tim Allen, Bob Saget. But then again, a lot of them also start off as comedians. What were you gonna say, Tyr?
Some people can keep their soul in that industry. Some people can't.
Well,
wow.
Well, typically the way they keep their soul is they don't live in Hollywood. Because look at Jeremy Renner.
Oh yeah.
From what I can tell, he's kept his soul for that, but he does not live in Hollywood.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. That was he doesn't live there. But I don't know. It's a cesspool that should be destroyed.
Sight from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yes.
Where do you go to get all the cess to fill up these pools?
Hollywood.
I'd like a bag of cess, please. No one ever talked about where to get cess or what creates cess, but there are all these pools of it.
Your butthole creates the cess, Mitch. Haven't you taken biology?
Yes.
I've never heard anyone refer to poo-poo as cess.
Well, when it comes out the mouth.
Called it poo-poo.
Mitch, see
when I just fessed in my pants. You don't hear these things.
When you have diarrhea in the mouth, Mitch, then it comes. That's what cess is. So Hollywood. That's where you get all the cess from. Whether it be
I'm pretty sure you guys got to wonder what's inside your butthole.
What's inside your butthole? Maybe it's aliens. Sorry.
Maybe it is astronauts. Maybe it is aliens deep inside your butthole.
God, I hate this.
Joe Biden's finger checking himself for prostate cancer.
Honestly, I think that's where the rage lives because, man.
I'm trying to find the rage against the machine.
They rage for it now.
They did.
Yeah. Raging on behalf of the machine.
Yeah, Green Day was
Well,
anti-everybody, but now they're positive anti.
What is the other thing? There's another thing.
What?
It's something about the Bates Motel that occurred to me again. Oh, new final word on it.
Okay.
Regarding Vera Farmiga, her portrayal of Norma Bates, I think, is kind of on par with Louise Fletcher's portrayal of Kai Wynn.
You love to hate her, and she did a good job at making you hate her.
But at the same time, it really was just too much. I honestly hate the character.
What, Norma Bates or Kai Wynn?
Yes, both of them.
All right. Again, I bring this up because this is why I pity Kai Wynn. When she's talking to Kira, and Kira, she goes, you resistance fighters think y'all the only one that was fighting for Bedro when the Kardashians was beating up anyone that taught preached the word of the prophets. While you had your guns, all I had was my faith in that cold cell. And that's why I pity her, because her actions are literally, whatever I control can't hurt me.
Right, I understand that. You don't get that kind of depth with Norma Bates, though.
Oh, yeah.
The closest we come to that kind of depth with her is, oh, my brother raped me when I was young. And that kind of a card is played too much, so it's cheap at this point.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to entertainment. It didn't work with the rehash of A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
When they tried to reboot that element cheapened it.
You don't need to add. You don't need to. He's a child murderer, and that's all you needed to be. You don't need to add icky on top of creepy.
Right.
You don't always have to up the ante or up the vileness.
Yeah, we didn't need that with Norma Bates, but of course they had to shoehorn it in because
modern writing. She can't. Modern women can't be evil.
Right, they can't be evil without something
making them
done
evil
to them.
Yeah. Like they have no agency.
I would argue that Norma Bates wasn't really evil. Not in the traditional sense.
Or she can't be a villain.
Definitely a villain.
Yeah.
But not because she was homicidal.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing about Norma Bates that was homicidal, or that should be, is the Norma Bates that exists in Norman's head. The split personality version of Norma Bates.
Mm-hmm.
That Norman experiences, that should be the part that's evil. The actual Norma Bates, or I'm sorry, that she wouldn't. Okay, I'll start over. Norman's imaginary Norma Bates character should be evil and homicidal, yada yada yada. The real Norma Bates
should be kind and loving.
Not kind and loving, but overbearing.
Makes sense.
She should absolutely be overbearing, but I don't think she should be evil, because that takes away from what's wrong with Norman. And if you take away what's wrong with Norman, he becomes less effective as a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And even, God, I love what they did with Psycho 2, the movie, because they took this evil character that is Norman Bates with the mental issue and being controlled by his domineering mother in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And they made Norman sympathetic, but Norman slips back into that psychosis when Emma Poole reveals that she is actually his mother, and it wasn't Norma Bates. So that gives rise to the mother persona again in Norman at the end of Psycho 2, which I think is just fantastic, and it's a good story. Shut up. There. Sorry, I was telling an NPC to shut up.
Yeah. What was I about to say?
I don't think Norma. If Norma's evil, it doesn't work quite as well. Vile, yes. Self-centered, yes. Overbearing, yes. But not evil. Not homicidal.
Again, is the concept
Benevolent nor necessarily malevolent.
What's that?
I said not malevolent nor necessarily benevolent.
Right. Basically, make her an asshole.
okay? Yeah. It's like, all right. So, do y'all remember what was the Malevolent or Maleficent?
I never saw it.
Yeah, the one that I know enough about it. I haven't actually seen it, but it changes the entirety of the Maleficent storyline.
Yeah, she's no longer just this evil witch who was
the whole thing was like, yeah. Well, I mean, if we're gonna go off the whole thing for what was supposed to be for the Disney aspect of it, she was invited to the court or to the.
No one just thought she would come.
To the thing, it's just no one thought she would come, but it's like for when it was based, to not invite her would be an insult in its own to cause her eye. Like it was the other fairies that did everything that caused the Princess Aurora to be cursed.
Yeah, and
instead they now have to change it to where no, it's the king is responsible for everything else, and he took part of her magic and whatnot. It's like, oh my god, this is so retarded. Just let that woman be evil.
Yeah,
I don't even see her as evil, and the story paints her as evil.
Yeah,
but she was again within her rights. She just took her eye on the job.
I would say it's like that. It's like let her be petty and spiteful.
Yes, let her be petty and spiteful. Yes. And you have this shit with the recent Snow White remake. The hero, the men can't be the heroes to save Snow White or exact revenge for their friend like they did in the cartoon. They were gonna beat the fuck out the witch. The witch got off easy by falling off the cliff. They were gonna fuck her up.
Like if you're to do something like that, you gotta do like the comedy skits to where it's like, like the buff Snow White to where she's the one beating up everyone and doesn't get poisoned. The prince gets kidnapped. Where you're just quite literally just having fun with it. It's not meant to be taken seriously at all.
But again,
and that's usually done in like a 3-minute skit to begin with.
Yeah, but again, in that movie, in the recent Snow White, she has to take out the evil queen, and it's not a kiss from a prince. It's a kiss from some shitty actor, and they're not villains. They're just out of work actors pretending to be villains. Because they're starving. Yeah, like the prince, the original the original casting picture of the 7 quote unquote magical creatures, they got recast as actors who are pretending to be bandits. And there's zero chemistry between Snow White and the lead actor, who is again not a prince.
The way Fat Electrician put it was basically it's like an hour and 10 minutes of introductions of all the characters, then like 15 minutes of actual story didn't end.
Yeah. But and it's not that the father died, it is that the evil stepmother somehow magically took over his mind and sent him to die in a war. And the dumbest thing ever, instead of her skin being as white as snow, she is named because she survived the blizzard. She was born in the blizzard that somehow magically she survived.
I got it.
Yes.
How to explain what I'm talking about with Norma Bates and Mother. Mother being the split personality that Norman has.
Okay.
Norman is Jekyll, Mother is Hyde, and Norma is just an asshole. There you go.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Jekyll, Hyde, and asshole. And as that dynamic, I think it works.
Okay. She comes out when he needs to be aggressive, and she's just murderous.
Right, but Norman's very polite, he's timid but not weak. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But Norman's a nice guy. And sometimes in this series, I think they portrayed Norman as not a nice guy. But there's so much going on between Norman's mental illness and Norma being an asshole that it's just confusing enough so that you can come away from the series going, well, I don't know what the fuck I just witnessed. When was Norman being a nice guy and when was he being an asshole?
Up was down, left was right, cat and dog flew together. That's the story.
Kind of. But it's done well.
I mean,
because you should question that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's inconsistent. I'm saying you should be able to have questions that remain unanswered.
And unanswered questions are really good for the longevity of movies.
Yeah.
Shit like that creates intrigue and talk, the water cooler talk of, so did you see that? What do you think? Well, I think it's this. No, I think it's that. Well, if you go back and look at this scene.
You should go to a movie and be able to sit around a Denny's drinking coffee with your friends afterward for a few hours and discussing it. And like, what? You know, and I'm not saying this is how... I'm not
every
saying
movie should be...
No, I'm not saying this is what you and your group of friends should do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying a good movie will cause this.
Yes.
You'll sit around with your friends and just be like, dude, that was fucking awesome. What do you think was going on with this? I don't know. But it kind of looked like he was into her, but she wore a hat.
All right, so I bring this up. Y'all remember the movie Hancock, Will Smith's Hancock with Charlize Theron, and I forget the guy. He was the lead actor in Arrested Development.
Bateman.
Jason Bateman, if I'm taken, right?
Is it Jason Bateman?
I believe. I want to say Bateman something Bateman. I remember going to it with a girlfriend and her friend and friend's boyfriend, and we all watched the movie. And we're walking out, you know, we're talking, and we go because the movie theater was in this mall where there's this bookstore. I remember going to the bookstore trying to find the novelization because I thought there would be more answers in a book. Like, you know, we spent like 20 minutes looking for a book that probably didn't exist. So I go to, we all go down to Barnes and Nobles in the inner city, and again, we're looking for this fucking book because we know it exists. Because it had to be more.
Check the internet.
Internet wasn't around at the time, or wasn't prevalent. Like we this is before we all had computers in our hand. You know, so
the internet was still a thing that you could have looked into.
What movie was it?
Hancock.
Okay.
All right, so
2008. Tyr, the internet's been a thing your entire life.
All right.
No, the internet has not been a thing our entire life, but it was around during that time frame, just not necessarily available in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, and I didn't have a computer on hand at the time that I could go. Like, again, we just got out the movie, and we went to one bookstore, and then we went to another bookstore. Like, I didn't think.
We can always ask this question here. Did you ask the staff there?
I don't recall. It's been umpteen billion years.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years now.
Yeah, so I don't quite recall. But again, we had questions. We were walking and talking like, yeah, the book probably has better answers. Like, what were they? Were they angels? Were they gods? Who created them and shit like that? And we, the entire time we're on the bus or, you know, going toward this next bookstore, we're asking these questions. Like, you know, we're talking about it. That's how movies should be.
Some, not all.
Okay, enough of them. Like,
I only say that because, like, if you're going there for a lot of kids' movies and whatnot,
The novelization of Hancock.
Okay.
It didn't exist, but we
Yeah.
we thought it existed because at the
Yeah,
time,
he thought there was a book or comic that it was based off of, so he wanted to go to a bookstore to see if he could find the original
yeah,
story that it was based off of.
you know,
But no, there are some stories that you can do that can, wrapped up nicely in a bowl because not everything has to have these deep questions and everything.
yeah.
Well, I think it's the difference between like art versus entertainment, right? So art is something, regardless of the medium, that you really, that's kind of its purpose. It's an effect. These are just, my opinions. People can differ.
It's thought provoking.
Yeah, and want to inspire you to think, to talk, etc. And there's things that are art that are also entertainment. It's kind of a scale, but pure entertainment is just there to make you feel good, just there to entertain you, have a good time, blah blah blah. So I think if something that I would consider Hancock more of a entertainment side of things, but if it still gets you to talk, then you just pulled off a double whammy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
well, I mean, you can.
You can't. It's a tricky combination.
For sure.
Because even with those things individually, entertainment and art, and the crossover between the two, all three of those things should occur naturally. You can't force entertainment.
Force it, yeah.
You can't force artistry, and you can't force them to cross over effectively. That
unless you're the CIA.
Or they don't. Tommy Wiseau, when he did The Room, was not. He might have been trying to make art. He might have been trying to make entertainment, but it didn't come out that way. And the entertainment value it does have occurs naturally, not because he was trying to make it entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
If you see what I mean.
Yes.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
it didn't prompt
side
me.
effect of it being
It didn't?
actually so bad.
No, don't worry.
Say unless we're talking about modern art, which was a CIA psyop against the Ruskies. So that way we could have people that they made art for the sake of art.
Again, nowadays, all right, art
because it's a lot harder. It's a lot hard. Well, we'll say it's a lot harder to go up against that whole thing, which is why we had that postmodern impressionism stuff. When you can have someone in the my brain's going weird. In Russia or the USSR at that time, that they're just going to stick a freaking paintbrush in his hand and have them basically copy the same picture for fucking 20 years, or do the same thing with a single instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, my theory is write your story, draw your picture, paint your picture, sing your song.
Yeah.
Don't try to make it artistic. Don't try to make it entertaining.
Even then, art is subjective.
Well, yeah, I know that. But I'm still saying, just paint your fucking picture.
Yeah.
If people enjoy it, they enjoy it. If they don't, they don't. You can't control
welcome
what they enjoy, so don't try.
Welcome to my philosophy.
All right, so
this is where Hollywood fucks up, because Hollywood and the rest of the entertainment industry really just want to capture a formula.
Yeah.
All right, so
they're trying to do that, and they're also roping themselves.
Wait a minute. I used to read this book on writing, and one of the things this author said was, when you're writing, don't write to please everybody. Write to please, your target audience. Who are you looking for? If you're writing science fiction, you shouldn't be trying to get the YA group to like your work. You should be trying to get the science fiction people to like your stuff, because you're writing the science fiction, you're writing it for them. If you try to write YA science fiction, both science fiction fans and YA fans, you're gonna fuck up, because you're trying to please two masters.
Yes. For example, my slasher project.
Mm-hmm.
Without going into details, I'm not. I'm courting the not supernatural slasher.
Okay.
So I have to. I can't write in a bunch of goofy chants and rituals into it, because that would just be aiming at the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
I have to write something that has a logical reason to exist. I have to know
Can I
why
make
my
one?
character.
I was like, can I make one interjection? You
Yeah.
can put that stuff in there, but it can't be something that's supposed to affect the person, the actual villain and everything. That would have to
Right.
be someone who thinks they're conjuring them, or is an actual, is trying to thinks that will stop them, and that they will end up being a victim as well.
Yes. It would be a dodge, if anything.
The
A
wiki
red
wiki
herring.
witchy woo woo who gets killed by the non-supernatural slasher.
Yeah.
That I've got to read.
Again, it's the red herring. Oh well, you think it's supernatural, but in reality, it's just this mundane thing that they shoehorn the witchy woo woo stuff into it.
Yes.
It is what was that movie? Oh, fuck, I cannot remember. It was a killer. I'm getting old.
Use your big boy words. Come on.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
No, but like
Can
describe
you
it.
give us some of the storyline?
Oh, so essentially, it was like this cult had believed they had summoned like their avatar of their god, when in reality it wasn't. It was just random murderer guy. It could have been a short.
Fuck murderer.
That actually sounds like when those on Justice League, when those wannabes were trying to summon a demon god or something to go deal with someone, and they accidentally conjured Solomon Grundy.
They accidentally revived Solomon Grundy, and they
Yeah.
and he just wanted to die again because he had a good death.
Yep. See, that was a really good story element too, when they sent when
Hawkgirl to
Green
do it.
Lantern was going to go kill him, but Hawkgirl went and did it instead.
Yeah, because she's the one that I think he died saving her.
Yeah.
And he had a good death. He was happy, like finally I can rest.
Yeah, so she wanted to give him that happiness again, or some damn thing. It was a mercy killing, basically.
Yeah, it was simply mercy killing.
Yeah, repay his kindness by letting him rest properly.
Yes. How come Will is no longer part of the team?
I don't know. I sent Will the invite. Will, you there?
Damn you, Will, and all that you stand for. Oh, there we go.
All right. I'm hoping we get a TFO, a ground-based TFO. I want to see what this gun is fucking worth.
Which gun is that?
It's fun. It's the one from the Tholian thing.
Yeah, the new Tholian thing.
I've got to do one more mission for that.
Oh, well then, why you ain't tell me? We could have hopped on and did it because it's ending today. So next one we'll do the last Tholian mission so you can get on.
Okay, I figured if we didn't, I'd just grab it right after the stream. So
It's a pretty fun weapon, but I hate the way it looks.
Yeah, it does look ridiculous on a humanoid body.
It looks like a cross between the Ghostbusters Proton Pack and Old Painless from Predator.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Like, I ain't got time to design something that actually looks nice. I mean, it looks clunky.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens if I swap this wire with this wire, reverse these hoses?
Help me! I'm going backwards! Get off! Get off! Get off! Get off! Fix me! Sorry.
Because so far for my slashers, I've got the media name for him, if you know what I mean. Oh Christ!
Mm-hmm.
Conqueror Exterior. Oh God, no! I hate this one.
The newspaper headline name.
Yeah. And I've got and it's actually going to be very similar to a nickname the killer grew up with.
Okay.
By Josen?
Hang on, I got a thing in my throat. What, Jolson?
Bojaden?
Josen.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Or Papa's the bad dude.
I've got a first name for the kid. I've got a first name for the kid and And a last name, but I might switch on the last name because the last name sounds familiar to me. What I mean is, when I say the first name and the last name, I think it's somebody, and I can't put my finger on who it is at the moment. So I may have to change the last name, but what I've got so far is Tom Landry. What?
He's a famous coach.
Okay, there. That's all I need. I'm switching the name.
Aw.
I mean,
See, that's what I mean. I probably heard it, and it's okay. I'll just go. Oh no, because all resemblance to what do you call?
People related or dead is purely coincidental.
Yeah, so I gotta change that.
I mean, if you want to keep it, give it. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are other Landry families, and Tom is a fairly common name.
I'll come up with something else for him. Another name.
With Bob Landry.
No, the first name needs to be Tom. It plays.
Tom Dreeland.
What's that?
Tom Dryland.
Tom Sealand.
That went for a second, but I had to get rid of it. It's a tricky thing because it has. One of the things I noticed, like for Jason Voorhees is sort of an oddball name,
but it's recognizable.
It balances it out. Then you got Michael Myers. That's a completely plain name, and that's what I'm looking for, is something plain.
Okay, this is a joke, but it's like, I got it. Since he's supposed to be the bad guy, you name him Tom Good Guy.
Goodman. Tom Goodman.
No, that's a little too off on the nose.
That's why I said it's a joke.
Yeah.
Why not just get Tom Smith? Smith is a fairly common name, and
that's the thing. The name's got to have a certain ring to it, and I'll know it when I hear it. That's the problem. That's the problem I'm facing, is I don't hear it yet.
Makes sense.
But it's there. It's out there, and I'll know it when I hear it.
Well, go to the how many of me website. Pop in Tom Landry and see how many of them are out there. Because if there's enough of them, it's just like, okay, it's just a generic name.
No. Like I said, I'll know when it has the right ring to it. There's a certain psychology with language, and I think that plays into how you name your characters.
Yeah, if you want to invoke an evil character, you usually name them like Mal.
Well, not like an evil character, but if you want to invoke help me out.
Specific thought.
Yeah,
like as the guy coming up with the story and the names and the characters, I know how everything fits together in my head.
Yes.
And the name has to fit all of that stuff, and there's no way to convey that information to anyone else.
Fair enough.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know completely what you mean.
There's no way to convey the prerequisite for the name.
Tom Thompson.
Yeah, and that's one of the prerequisites is I'm not going to be winking at the audience.
Tom Tittledrum.
I can't name him Thomas Blumenauer.
Thomas Blumenauer.
With that attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Tittledrum, the king of the cats.
I mean, Thomas Richmond might do. Because it's a funny mix of I think a slasher villain that doesn't involve the supernatural. You got to have a name that's kind of mundane, because non-supernatural killers are the quiet neighbor next door, for example. Not even the quiet neighbor next door, just the guy next door. And Tom Richmond sounds like the guy next door.
He sounds like somebody you can have a beer with.
Yeah.
Another decent one could be Stevens.
What?
It's another decent one could be Stevens.
Yeah, could be.
Tom Stevens.
But I gotta ponder it a little bit.
Wait a minute. How in the fuck I don't understand how the fuck this thing works.
What?
All right, so the plasma thing, we came in from the back there, and the plasma accelerator runs down the chamber, going to where the back of me. But isn't the back the entrance? So how the fuck is it fire? I don't know. I don't fucking care.
Don't expect it to make sense. This was designed by Cryptic Studio.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to figure out how the hell this thing has, like, suns being powered by fucking stars. Whatever, I don't care. I just want to blow shit up.
A lot of it is because some game designers thought that it would be a neat idea to have too much stuff going on inside this thing. That's why we have what looks like a star at the end of the tunnel, which is really just the end of the tunnel. That's why.
Oh god, I have not done setups in so long. Sorry.
What?
I said, oh god, I have not done setups in so long. I forgot how much they suck.
Oh, lovely. That's all right. I had exercise this weekend.
Well, I'm about.
Now I'm a painful mess.
Tomorrow I'm going to walk about 6 miles, running errands and going to the dentist. So, yay me.
Tomorrow I'll be working a 12-hour shift.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, they paid me for an extra 15 minutes today because if I'm going to be done at 11 with all my paperwork and then walking up, like and everything, I'm not going to be freaking punching out, a few minutes after, so that way they don't have to pay me, even though like all those fucking minutes add up.
Back when
I still have to do.
Back when I had to do COVID tests because I refused to get the vaccine, they had to pay me 30 minutes extra on my check because I had to do it at home.
Oh, with mine, it's that whole thing of, with where I'm at, it's the whole shit of like, this is why we've told you need to stop the lines a bit early so we can do this whole thing. But sometimes it's I have to finish out an order.
I remember working in a warehouse. I know those days.
No, I'm working on a palletizer, so I'm getting boxes that come to me. And sometimes we have to finish out the order. And going from the drop packer to me can take fucking 5 minutes.
Whoa. Back when I used to run my little section, I would have to stay at least an extra 10 minutes to the brief when we didn't have enough for one order because I worked overnights. Oh, we didn't have enough for this order. We didn't have enough for that order. And we didn't have enough for this order. And we're waiting for this to be delivered by committee, and you guys need to go out and get this.
I still just thought it was funny. We brought our third shift back. We brought having a third shift back so we wouldn't have to work so many overs and unders and that whole thing. And pretty much all of us were just like, yep, it's not going to be long. But even though we have a third shift that's supposed to be running one line, they're going to have to go stay in late, come in early to run another line. And they've been doing that for weeks.
So essentially,
it's like, hey, I thought we brought this thing back so we could alleviate this, but you're just adding to it again, huh?
Hey,
that's because they're getting pissy because they want to have they're not sometimes hitting production rates and whatnot for quotas of that. And it's like, well, if you stop trying to think that you're going to get a 3% increase every fucking year, like you are not going to get a 3% increase in efficiency, you dumbasses. Especially when you don't replace machines and the maintenance properly maintain and fix them.
They do that everywhere.
Like my job,
maintenance. Hold on, my job. All right, so I've been complaining about this one machine for the last week and a half. Or, sorry, 3 weeks. It keeps spitting out errors and it's spitting out corrupted machines. Every time I shut it down, oh, well, it's fine now. And again, not 20 fucking minutes later, it starts spitting out errors. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it.
At least the plant I work for is notorious for being told, hey, this thing's messing up and it's going to need to be replaced soon. And they won't order the part because it still works. And then it breaks and they have to special order the part and expedite shipping, paying like 2 to 3 times, like sometimes 4 times more than the part actually costs. And then that line is down for like 3 months. And it's like, wow, if like 6 months ago when we said it was going bad, if you'd have ordered the part, let us get it. And even if you waited until the part fucking broke, it could have been swapped over the weekend, or if not in a couple hours, and then the line's only down for a shorter period of time instead of being down for fucking 3 months.
Did I mention how I hate this fucking TFL? It is overly long and complicated for no apparent reason.
This one isn't even one of the worst ones.
It isn't one of the worst, but still, it's overly long and complicated for all the wrong reasons. Well, at least it doesn't have fucking leader. All right, so there's a good thing. There's a bonus.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus.
All right, come on.
Big money, no whammies.
Yeah. How unfortunate that is more accurate than.
This thing stopped shooting me in the butt.
I wish they would, so I can fucking go to warp in this horrible, horrible space, and get that last fucking.
Makes me almost want a mine layer on this thing.
Oh, man. Living in the Mojave Beach, you really make it a winner.
I actively avoid all of the distractions and just hit the mission
targets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to fly away from them, but it's
never that easy.
It really fucking isn't.
There's challenge to that.
I swear to God, they copied the Destiny Ascension with that design, and they should be fucking called out for it.
Yep.
Here we go.
Man, Space Hercules was such a cool show.
Space Hercules?
Andromeda?
Oh, yes.
It was for the first couple of years, yeah.
It started to suck when the guy that played Tyr when he left.
Keith Hamilton Cobb.
Yes.
Yep.
I rather enjoyed his work.
You know, he was great.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Sorbo was honestly good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like Case Orbs.
See, Kevin Sorbo is never going to be the great actor. But what he is entertaining.
Yes.
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 And
I still at some point have to watch him in the sequel to the remake of Walking Tall.
The sequel.
He
There's
was
a
in
sequel?
I thought it was The Rock.
Yeah, I thought
he's in the sequel to The Rocks of Walking Tall, because Walking Tall, the Rock is a reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They made a sequel.
Yes, they made a sequel to it.
Yep.
The Payback.
I mean, I openly admit my favorite movie with The Rock is The Rundown.
It's called
It's
Walking
so
Tall:
dumb.
The
I
Payback.
love it.
I can't. Let's face it. Sean William Scott makes that movie.
That and Ernie Reyes Jr. for his
yeah.
his small role in it.
God damn, he is 66.
Who?
Kevin Sorbo.
Oh wow.
That and the Scot they have as the pilot, the Scotsman in the rundown. It's hysterical as well.
Oh yes, yes.
Like,
Walking Tall: The Payback was direct to video. Oh god.
That's probably why. Probably why I
A
never
lot
seen
of
it.
those direct-to-video things are entertaining as all hell.
Yeah. It was just that whole thing. They didn't really have a storyline to go for.
Yeah. But I had
It's like Walking Tall's based on a true story.
I've got a role for Kevin Sorbo.
What's that?
Is it Space Hercules?
No.
Oh.
This is a more it's more of a low-key role, and he's actually a supporting role, but a pivotal role in the story. It's a vampire, not vampire, I'm sorry. It's a werewolf tale.
He's a werewolf?
Yes.
Just as long as you don't make him a professor like he was in God's Not Dead. That role was so
No, we're not
bad.
going. No, what I have in mind is one of these modern 20-year-old kids. Skinny jeans. What's another blue hair streak? That kind of an asshole.
What the kids thing.
Yeah. He's he goes into a coffee shop, this kid, and he has the same first name as someone else, so they call out the guy's coffee, and the kid thinks, no, that's not how it worked. Shit. Somehow the kid accidentally drinks the wrong coffee, and it's a coffee that's already been that Kevin Sorbo's character has already been drinking on. The kid drinks out of the wrong cup, basically, and as a result, he catches the werewolf thing. Because it's the curse or whatever is transferred by a bite.
He catches werewolf cooties.
He catches the werewolf cooties because of the saliva.
Yeah.
And
they're kind of like the zombie virus. The virus is in the saliva, not necessarily in the bite itself.
Right, exactly. So what happens is this kid starts going through the changes.
Be right back, guys. I'm going to get a drink. I can listen and everything.
Right on. And what we, as the audience, sees as the changes, the kid's spending less time just sitting there and texting on his phone. He stopped wearing the skinny jeans, and he's starting to wear more rugged, working man's kind of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is really a coming of age tale.
Okay.
And,
that's generally how kids are made. Yes.
Well, he's coming of age. It's a coming of age tale for a werewolf, but he's using the werewolf tale or the werewolf mythology as the vehicle to tell the story.
Right.
So he gets a job, a real job, and he starts, putting the funds together and everything. And he's always whiny little wanted a girlfriend, but now that he's working and it shows, the women are interested in him, but he's still got this werewolf thing to contend with. And he finds out, or rather Kevin Sorbo finds out, because this kid doesn't know yet how to control his new urges, if you will.
Lycanthropy.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo and a lot of other lycanthropes, who I'm thinking like Dean Cain, Jeremy Renner. Basically the actors who would be canceled, the male actors who would be canceled today.
James Woods.
By Hollywood. Yeah, James Woods.
Oh, I want to see him as a fucking, because John Carpenter's vampires, he was awesome.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see him as like the other side.
Yeah, basically these guys are like the old guard werewolves who can now teach this new puppy, if you will, how to become a proper werewolf. And it's basically old men mentoring young men is the kind of the idea of the story. I haven't figured out all the particulars yet, but I like the basic concept of it.
Yeah, you
Because it
started
gives
with an
all,
overview, and now you're going into specifics slowly.
yeah, I've got the overview. Scott Baio as well, another actor in it that I would like to have in it as the old guard. I just think it would be it's a great way to do a coming of age tale.
But what you could also have that as well with some of the actors, instead of having them all like be the whole thing being the mentoring, is you have like him explaining of how they've been mentored, and like those actors play the small role of like who mentored the one before them.
Yes.
Like a Highlander thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
Damn it. But I think it's a good way to do a coming of age story. But not just a coming of age story, but a masculinity story.
And not like Teen Wolf from back in the day, or freaking what is it, Red from
Turning Red,
Netflix. Turning Red, the dumb shit.
I don't know about that one. I remember Teen Wolf.
Turning Red was essentially the female version of
Teen Wolf wasn't coming of age. That was just puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Turning Red too.
Yeah, see, and I'm thinking something that they're going to take this little feminist male simp and turn him into a real man, basically. And we're using lycanthropy as the vehicle to tell that story. I think it's a good story. It's just, I'll never get it written in time to get the actors I want to be in it.
Unfair.
But man, that would be awesome. Just to see Chuck Norris. Have Chuck Norris in there too. Lone Wolf. Sorry, had to be done.
Say, silver bullets don't kill Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris kills silver bullets.
Basically, yeah.
Shit.
Another reason to tell a Chuck Norris joke would be awesome. But it'd be great to have all of those actors who have essentially been shat upon by Hollywood take a bit part in a single movie and just be able to work together like that for a few scenes. It would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so much fucking fun. Almost let them write their own dialogue too.
Yeah.
I say almost because I'll write dialogue, but I would love the opportunity for James Woods, for example, to throw out some of his insults because they're fucking awesome.
Here's the starting dialogue. Here's what you need to convey and communicate as far as meaning.
Yeah,
feel free to ad lib.
Fuck yeah, I would totally let those guys ad lib. Because it would be awesome.
Say, even if I don't like a specific one, I'll say, okay, let's try it again, but do something a little different. It'll probably make the outtakes.
Yeah. Yeah, look at what they did with Burgess Meredith and Grumpy Old Men. All those awesome outtakes.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. But yeah,
there too. I think we need.
All right, last one, and I'm going to specifically ask for a ground-based TFO because I want to see what this goddamn gun does.
Okay. I think we need a new revolution, maybe not revolution, but we need a new twist on the vampire story, the werewolf story, and the slasher stories. We get a constant run of supernatural horror, but we need something to reinvigorate the slasher genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the werewolf and vampire genres as well.
Yeah, they can use a kick in the ass.
They really could.
The vampire thing, I can't make sense of it because even if you take all the science out of it, vampires do not reproduce sexually, so they should not have the kind of a sex drive a human has.
It depends on the mythos you're going behind.
What I'm saying, no, the mythos is what I'm saying. The mythos makes no sense. Have you ever watched was it not the Vampire Diaries, the other one, True Blood?
Yeah.
I mentioned it, I think, last week. It's just a bunch of fucking supernatural things having sex all the time.
Yeah.
And it's boring. Yeah, hey, Anna Paquin's titties. I'm happy to see them, but give me a decent story to put them titties into, for Christ's sake.
All right, so the all right. I'm a huge fan of the White Wolf Vampire the Masquerade Requiem style of vampirism, where you have lineages and clans and whatnot, like specific tangible differences between vampire groups.
Sure.
And one of the groupings is always either called the Toreador, who are the arty farty, who are trying to recapture their humanity in forms of art, and like they're decadent, highly decadent. So them indulging in sex is not necessarily for the sex itself. It is just them trying to feel human again.
Yeah.
And Tyr, going back to the True Blood thing, I'm pretty sure it's because True Blood was based off a book, which is just smut to begin with.
Well, I never read True Blood, and I never watched True Blood, and that was Mitch.
It was the Sookie Snatchmore, or whatever the fucking name was, Adventures or whatever.
Sookie Stackhouse.
Stackhouse. Yeah, Scratchwater, whatever.
Paint liquor. Yeah, okay. But yeah.
Yeah, because like I've seen some God damn it, I can't remember the manga. I think it was like The Last Vampire or whatnot that they went through that vampires could reproduce, but
motherfucker, I specifically asked for one that wasn't this one. I asked for a guy.
But
anyway, go on. Right.
Like pure blood vampires being able to reproduce was actually very, very difficult, and that whole thing. So, like, they were more likely to reproduce with a person or with a regular human than they were with a actual vampire. So, pure blood vampires are becoming more and more extremely rare.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But you know what movie actually kind of made vampires scary again?
Not for us.
The remake of Salem's Lot. The one that just got released a year or two ago.
Did it? I still haven't seen it.
Oh, I recommend it because it actually does the job of making them scary.
I still gotta finish that book.
Making them a bunch of lovesick teenagers. I think that's the part of it that bothers me, is that when vampires are lovesick, they just come off as fucking horny teenagers, and that's actually kind of boring.
Boring.
That's why I didn't hate them, and I like the Blade movies for that, because yeah, they weren't necessarily as scary, and they were somewhat horned up, but they viewed humans as food.
Yeah, they viewed them as, you're lesser than us, so we can kill you willy-nilly.
Well, I mean, the whole premise of the first one is Deacon Frost. Like, these people are our food. We should be ruling them. So yeah.
We shouldn't be making deals
in that regard.
We shouldn't be
I
making
think
deals.
That's the kind of infusion vampire movies needing. Is vampires need to be monsters, not humans with a blood condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Being Human?
Yes.
I liked how they handled vampires, werewolves, and other supernatural shit. Ghosts, yeah. Like they explained, like, yeah, like you have to regain your humanity in a sense. Like when you become a vampire, like you get lost in the power and the joy of it all.
Right.
Like you have to fight to maintain your humanity.
Yes.
Well, that was like.
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, I think it was called Darkstalkers with Ethan Hawke. I know not everyone's the biggest fan of him.
Oh yeah.
Like they have that one where vampires have taken over the world because of the lack of humans, and that whole thing. They're trying to either figure out a synthetic blood that they can go off of, or whatnot, because without a fresh supply of human blood or something that can be synthetic, they're starting to retrograde, and like the virus is actually starting to cause mutations because they start to feed on each other, which is causing more mutations.
Right.
So they start to devolve in a way, becoming more horrific. It's basically feeding on human. Yeah, feeding on humans is what is like kind of kept their humanity, but without feeding on humans, they slowly start to devolve into monsters.
It's like cannibalism.
I have a natural way to maintain the balance between vampires and their food, so that the food never really runs out.
Hmm.
And it's a side effect of this idea I had this concept that vampires don't sleep. They don't sleep during the day. They just retreat, get out of the sun.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons there are different kinds of vampires, you know, because there's vampires walking around going, blah, blah, I like my classical literature. You know, there are those vampires. Then there are the revenant types that are just creatures that feed. And the creatures that feed generally need to be put down because they will wipe out the human population. So the sophisticated, capable, thinking vampires put down the creatures that feed. And the way it works is because they don't actually sleep, only a certain percentage of the people that are turned into vampires can cope without having that REM sleep that humans are used to getting.
Okay.
And if you can cope with that, you become a thinking vampire instead of that
mindless hungry thing.
That hungry thing, yeah. You become a smart hobo instead of a hungry hobo.
hungry
hobos.
hungry hobos.
And I think that's an interesting way to maintain. Because just imagine that, not being able to sleep. What do you do for that 8 to 10 hours?
Yeah, you got
the revenants are the ones who descend into madness because they can't figure out a way to keep their brain the way it's supposed to be.
Right. They can't. They can't figure a way to let their brain rest and recuperate. But that's really not the thing. I'm just saying that without the sleep, it plays tricks on the brain, and only so many people are capable of coping.
Okay, so the thinking vampires are rare, while the hungry vampires are more prevalent.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like I said, the thinking vampires do go out of their way to take out the maniacs.
It's more.
That's actually a great way to describe liberty and tyranny. It's a good metaphor for liberty and tyranny in a fictional setting. Because I've always said tyrannies cannot grow when they are dealt with in a sharp, efficient, and memorable fashion.
A swift and efficient manner.
Yeah. So the vampires who represent liberty are the thinking ones, and without them taking out the monsters, or even the humans would take out the monsters, to be fair. But without the monsters being taken out, everything would just descend into the metaphorical tyranny.
Without the monsters being taken out, would be buried in Democrats.
Ha!
Yeah, I'm not going to attach it to political parties. Although it's fun to do as a joke, I won't do that. Because let's face it, the Republicans are every bit as bad. The Libertarians are every bit as bad as the Democrats.
We got two bowls of shit.
Yes.
We got two bowls of shit. We're asking which one smells better.
Pretty much. Well, 6 bowls of shit, really.
Yeah.
Because, well, no, ultimately it is 2 bowls of shit. Well, no, it's 1 bowl of shit and 1 bowl of Cheerios. The bowl of shit is the statist and the tyrant. The bowl of Cheerios is liberty.
Yeah.
Made with a good milk, not that fucking almond milk.
The soy milk.
Vitamin D.
None of that fake milk that doesn't really exist.
Again,
the red cap, the red label, the stuff that's thick that goes down like a meal that you can eat with a fork. Milk.
the moo cow. I'm going to use a Lewis Black joke. There's no soy milk, because that's not real milk, because there's no soy teeth, is there?
That's right.
That's the thing. There is no nut milk. There's just nut juice.
Yes, it's all juice.
And it's as disgusting as it sounds.
That's all I gotta say. Show me the tits on an almond.
Exactly. It's tough to my milk, and the milk's so bad about itself.
They're very small. They take forever to find, forever to drain. There's a reason why almond milk is so expensive. It's very time consuming.
You got to fight. You got to be able to tell a female walnut from a male walnut, or you get something else. It's just really creepy.
Different kind of nut juice.
Stuff like almond milk. That's a political statement. That's not a food.
It is people who are lactose intolerant trying to say that they're having milk, but they're not.
Yeah, it's a lie.
You know, for those that are lactose intolerant, we've had Lactaid for decades.
Yep.
That, and I've heard if you can like just spam skim milk for so long, you can actually cure your lactose intolerance.
Probably, just like with the peanut allergies that keep growing. It's largely because people are not letting their kids eat peanuts.
They're not getting the tolerance for it.
Right.
Yeah, there's probably some that have the actual genetic rarity. Others, it's just because they're not exposed to anything.
Right. Without exposure, you can't develop resistance.
Makes
And
sense.
it's because I know this that I was never conned into believing anything about that damn pandemic.
I didn't believe that shit. Like, yeah, no, you can't have a vaccine, a treatment this quick. Nope, nah. God damn, this TF is fucking long.
Yeah, this one's annoying. You'd have a better chance here of testing out that weapon. Just go to Nimbus 3.
Yeah, just go there.
It's easier than waiting for a TFO to pop. Like I said, it's a fun weapon. The primary fire is great. Secondary fire is great if you then use the primary fire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Excuse me.
That's right. I got a tractor beam on that transport. None of you Klingons are gonna fucking kill it either.
Yeah.
Damn Klingons. That's the best part. In the original series, someone did refer to a Klingon as a Klingon. So I can say Klingon all I want, and it's technically accurate.
It's lore accurate.
Yeah. It's canon. Stupid Klingon.
All right. Okay. Kiss my ass.
All right, so what do I want to eat?
The souls of your enemies.
Food.
Souls of my enemies.
Exactly.
Hey, Rotten, did you have a bunch of power outages this weekend?
My folks did. I didn't at my apartment, so I got lucky.
Because we did down where I'm at. It was infuriating.
And my dad got so pissed, he actually had it that today generator company would be coming in so that way they can go look at one, because he's got a natural gas line as well that he can go through to have a natural gas generator.
Oh, right on.
And he's like, yeah, I should have done this shit before, before the pandemic, because I'd actually pay, or he's like, for everything would have been not what I'm kind of looking at for a quote, but, he's like, I wasn't thinking, and I'm tired of this shit.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, that's a definitely good thing, because you lose power quite often, and you're a diabetic and have diabetic medication that has to be kept at a specific temperature.
I mean, in my own case, the last week, there have been 3 blackouts.
Damn.
And I'm like,
oh, what
is Michigan starting to go with the fucking California's idea about the rolling blackout now?
No, where my folks live, because like if they go about, it's like half mile or a mile in either direction of really east or west, and there's power again, they're in this small wedge that hasn't been updated properly, and consumers' energy just won't update it for some odd reason.
Sounds about right.
I mean, luckily the guy that my dad was talking to about the quote, the only reason that guy even got rid of his generators because he was in the area to where they were doing the underground testing of the underground power lines, which they need to start pushing all of them to.
I think they're starting to do that in my area.
They're starting to do it in more areas because it's actually fucking smarter.
Well, less wind for one.
Yeah. Because the only way it's going to be really bad in certain locations is anywhere it's going to have an earthquake. You know, because like it'd still be easier to fix in like a place that gets tornadoes or hurricanes or typhoons or any of that.
Right.
Because you just have to put it in there. You don't have, you know, a fucking pole that got picked up and all the lines taken with it.
Exactly.
Because of depending on how far they put it underground, they can be fine. And screw it, I'm just gonna make some chicken tenderloins.
Yep.
I'm being a lazy piece of shit.
Oh God, please let this be the end of this horrible mission.
It is.
I'll make some sandwiches tomorrow for work.
There you go. There you go.
I am a Chew, son of a sneeze.
A Jew in England?
No, I chew.
Oh.
Hey, Blinken.
Wait, he's black?
Abe Lincoln?
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
No, I said hey, Blinken. The greatest
I said, hey.
Hey.
I said, hey. Hey,
a black sheriff?
Hey.
Worked in Blazing Saddles. Withdraw.
We need
Lincoln, what are you doing up there?
Guessing?
No, we need
Doesn't sound like anything's coming from over here or over there.
No, what?
I was guessing.
We need to watch the original.
Yes, no one's coming.
The Kevin Costner Robin Hood. I like that one.
Prince of Thieves? Yeah.
Yes.
The soundtrack kicks on that one.
No.
Look, a toll is a toll and a roll is a roll. And if we don't get no tolls, we can't eat no rolls.
We can't eat no rolls.
I made that myself.
Hell, I'm down. This ain't actually the Mississippi. All right, let's get out of here. I'm getting a little sleepy.
Oh yeah.
You're weak.
I am. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out. There's a shit ton that we do throughout the week. Tomorrow night is Johnny Hellcat's Minions Night. Wednesday is the One Ton Hammers Minions Night, where he has Genty Maxi and Tyr Mantis. Thursday is Discord Night, where there is no show. Friday is Sanguine, unless it's the first of the month, or he's not here, or he's not able to do it. So either me or Mr. Adam will take over. Saturday is the Harry channel, where he has Skeptalk and our friend Dr. Functional on. Sunday is the Lovable Kefki's, her night. Thursday night, you can find me, Mitch, Functional, Kefki, Angela Ariaga, and Maddie on Never Watch Alone.
Over on Rumble. Go check us out on Rumble.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We're doing Howard the Duck. Yeah.
Hey.
We're doing that this week. You can we are watching Drive Angry on your movie night.
Yes.
Sweet.
Here and I are doing the re-review or the re-review while
you
Angela
are re-rees. Sorry.
That's besides the point, okay? That's a bonus.
Yes.
It's a feature.
It's a feature, not a bug.
It's a bug, not a bug.
Not a Kuma.
It's a Tuma.
Not a Kuma.
All right. And Will, it's even. So art stream.
Art stream.
On Will's Twitch channel, he will be doing an art stream this weekend, and then next weekend he will be playing the game. He will be doing a game stream, so check that out.
Don't forget for the Star Trek Onliners.
Tomorrow
they're starting a red alert where you can.
Red alert.
I forget how many how many times you play it, you get the what do you call it? A ship upgrade token.
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Now all I can
that's
think of
nice.
is that game from RoboCop. You crossed my line of death.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out. We'll be back next Monday to bring you some more randomness and shit talking. So, say goodbye to the night, people.
For $1.
Bye, Jen.
nice
Bye,
people.
Cashel.
Rock on, everyone.
My people in chat, I've ignored the entire show. Sorry.
Make the weekend yours, motherfucker. Anyway, yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. And we'll look forward. Play us out.
Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. Take me home. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay.